interested in painting Warhammer minifigures and sharing his work on the internet. On the 1st of November 2020, he shared another one of these minifigures on the Warhammer subreddit, but this one was a bit different. The finished product. My girlfriend's 9-year-old daughter planned and painted this scheme, with a bit of help from me on the helmet and small bits. She is very proud, and it looks pretty darn good. This post didn't receive much attention at the time, but the few replies it did receive were very positive. But more recent comments had a much different tone. Have a horrible time in jail. She would have been an amazing artist. She could have grown up to be such an amazing artist if she wanted to. I'm sorry, Maddie. At first, it's unclear what they're referencing, until you look a bit further. The incident started on February 26, 2024. At around 4:30 p.m., Jennifer Soto went to the Hunters Creek Middle School in Orlando, Florida to pick up her daughter Madeline, or known to most as Maddie. But when she asked for Maddie, school staff told her that her daughter never arrived that day. Jennifer initially presumed that Maddie must have gone to her grandmother's office, which was close to the school. Unfortunately, she wasn't there either. So she began searching for Maddie in the surrounding areas on her own, and also told someone to call the police.
911, what's the location of your emergency? And do you need police, fire, or medical?
Police, possibly. I'm reporting a missing child.
Maddie was officially reported missing at around 8 p.m., triggering an immediate search and rescue effort. Over 50 members of the emergency response team went door to door in the neighborhood, asking if anyone had seen Maddie earlier that day. However, despite looking for her all night, they couldn't find a single clue about her whereabouts. The person who dropped her off at school was Jennifer's boyfriend of 7 years, the owner of the Sustenance Reddit account, Stephen Stearns. When asked about it, he claimed Maddie asked to be dropped off a few blocks away from the school so her friends wouldn't see her in Stephen's old car.
Like around where these communities were?
Okay.
And it's just like in this strip.
That night, Stearns showed deputies the spot where he says Madeline got out of his car, a silver Lincoln MKZ.
She had also left her phone at home that morning and didn't have a smartwatch or any other trackable devices on her.
Ja, das ist doch schon mal sehr, sehr verdächtig. Und vor allen Dingen der Freund von ihrer Mutter ist derjenige, der sie das letzte Mal gesehen hat. Und sie hat nichts dabei, womit man sie tracken könnte. Also das ist doch alles, das stinkt ja schon so ein bisschen zum Himmel.
But just as the situation was starting to look hopeless, investigators found their first lead. Going through her phone revealed messages she sent to her friends where she talked about running away and living in the woods after she turned 13. This prompted a much wider search across the many hiking trails and wooded areas around the school, which unfortunately also led nowhere. With no other options, investigators turned their attention back towards immediate family, and especially Stephen. He was the last person who saw Maddie, turning him into a prime suspect in her disappearance. Stephen, however, stuck to his story.
When I left her, she was on the other side of the street, rummaging through her backpack and just kind of moving towards the school area, so.
In the meantime, Jennifer went to the media to help spread the word about her missing daughter.
I want her to be okay, and I want her to be safe. I don't want her to come back harmed. I just want her back. Whatever that means, I just want her back.
What she didn't know was that the person responsible for Maddie's disappearance was sitting right beside her. You see, Stephen had told the officers about multiple locations he went to after dropping off Maddie before returning home, including a vape shop and a game store. But when officers checked CCTV footage, they saw him driving in the area, but never entering any of the places he claimed to have visited, almost as if he was just creating potential alibis in case he was ever questioned. CCTV footage around his apartment complex also showed him making a stop and discarding items into a dumpster before driving away, something he didn't mention at all during questioning. When investigators checked the dumpster, they found a school backpack containing Maddie's purple hoodie and her school laptop. This resulted in Stephen getting arrested on the morning of February 28, but many aspects of the case were still unknown.
Wie kommen diese Männer darauf, so einem Mädel irgendwas anzutun? Vor allen Dingen führen die eine Beziehung mit der Frau, also mit der Mutter, und kommen dann auf so eine Ideen? Also ich weiß ja jetzt nicht, ob er die umgebracht hat, aber wahrscheinlich schon. Aber was stimmt da nicht mit denen?
The final piece of the puzzle was discovered on February 29th when police discovered CCTV footage of Stephen driving with Maddie strapped in the front seat. However, she was slumped over, indicating that she was likely knocked out. This made even more sense when investigators also found a purchase record of him buying sevoflurane from Walmart 2 days before Maddie went missing. Sevoflurane, for those who don't know, is a medical anesthetic similar to chloroform. Footage from a hotel's parking lot also showed him taking her out of the front seat and putting her in the trunk. Then, on the 1st of March, investigators received a tip from someone who saw him changing his car's tire on Hickory Tree Road on the morning of February 26, and a search of the area revealed that him having to stop on the road wasn't a coincidence. In a wooded area just off the road, officers found the remains of Maddie, hidden under some grass, confirming Jennifer's worst fear. Stefan was charged with first-degree murder and was sentenced to 21 life sentences without parole in July 2024, with the pictures of Maddie he previously posted on his now-abandoned Reddit account serving as a constant reminder of his heinous crime.
Passt schön auf, was ihr euch da anlacht.
On September 30, 2017, Reddit user KillaCun made a post on the stand-up comedy subreddit talking about the passing of comedian Patrice O'Neal. Patrice O'Neal doesn't get the proper recognition he deserves. If not for his unfortunate, untimely early passing, he would without a doubt be considered the greatest comedian of all time. And while many agreed with him in the comments, the top reply had a different tone. If not for his unfortunate, untimely early passing. Yeah, like your son? This comment was referring to the tragedy that happened just 3 days after this post. Almost a year before this post, the OP posted a picture of a baby holding a computer mouse to his ear titled, "My son thinks everything is a phone." It was a very innocent, wholesome post. Sadly, a year later, it would become a reminder of the horrific incident that happened on October 3, 2017. That day, 27-year-old Christopher Kunn, the man behind the KillaCun account, took his then 2-year-old son to the Levittown Town Center Walmart in Pennsylvania. But he wasn't there to shop. Immediately after entering the store, Christopher tried to shoplift a $228 soundbar. He was confronted by security officers trying to stop him from leaving. Security also called the police, resulting in him getting more scared, shouting, "You can't hold me here," and rushing back to his car with his 2-year-old son. The son climbed into the back seat, leading Christopher to make the worst mistake he could have made in that situation. He forgot to strap him into the toddler seat. Instead, he climbed into the driver's seat and sped off. He wasn't even being chased by the police yet, but
Rast auf der Autobahn, als würde er verfolgt werden, wird aber nicht verfolgt. Ist bestimmt unter Drogen. Und das arme Kind ist hinten nicht im Kindersitz und ja, wir können uns ja dann schon denken, was gleich passieren wird.
he kept driving at an unsafe speed. He then tried to run a red light at an intersection just a few hundred feet from the Walmart. Unfortunately, that's where his luck ran out. In an effort to flee the scene, he T-boned another vehicle, resulting in his car rolling over. Christopher himself was buckled in, allowing him to come out of the crash with minimal injuries. Sadly, his son was ejected from the car and landed violently on the roadway, passing away on the spot. Witnesses also saw Christopher stepping out of the car and looking at the remains of his own son before continuing to flee on foot. Fortunately, the police arrived at the scene moments later and arrested Christopher, who was trying to hide in the plants next to the road. Further investigation revealed that he was under the influence of drugs, which may have contributed to his erratic behavior. Christopher also turned out to have an extensive criminal record, including theft, fraud, terroristic threats against his wife, and many more. He was also driving with a suspended license due to prior drug possession. He stood trial on March 28, 2018 on charges of third-degree murder, child endangerment, and others. He was later sentenced to 8.5 to 30 years in prison, and as far as I was able to find, he remains behind bars with no reports of his release.
Ja, Mensch, keine Drogen. Drogen, Alkohol, alles zerstört einen nur. Und dann noch auf die Kosten von so einem kleinen Kind, also das ist doch furchtbar. Und alles wegen einer Soundbar und irgendeinem Verfolgungswahn. Traurig, traurig.
On the 11th of August 2018, Reddit user Galpticos posted a very run-of-the-mill meme on the Dank Memes subreddit. There was nothing too notable about it, and it received little attention at the time. But if you visit the post today, you'll see strange comments like, "Bro, this is crazy. The history behind this guy is actually insane. This is actually disturbing. He's probably in hell now." They seem very out of place at first, but learning what the owner of this account did, they're not all that surprising. You see, there were two constants on the Galpticos Reddit account, Fortnite and depression. The owner of the account, 19-year-old Farhan Tawheed, often discussed his mental health struggles with others on the site, and things seemed to be looking up for him. One of the most recent comments on his account was a reply to a post asking depressed people how they were doing that day, to which Farhan replied, The past few weeks have been great. I finally moved on from 2 toxic relationships that I was trying to hold on to for way too long. Thanks for asking. It looked like he was looking forward to improving his life. Unfortunately, that's not how things played out. The incident happened on the night of April 5th at around 1 a.m. when Farhan posted a Google Drive link to his Instagram. Inside was a 7-page document detailing what he was about to do and why.
Der will bestimmt Suizid begehen.
It opened with the chilling line, "Hey everyone, I killed myself and my family. If I'm going to die, I might as well get some attention." The rest of the document went on to detail the plan he made with his brother to purchase guns and take out the rest of his family when the time came. He talked about how his depression had persisted for most of his life, and that there were many people who tried to help him, but they all failed and eventually ended up ghosting him. In a segment about happiness, he wrote, "It's not fair. I did everything right, every little thing right, and I'm still just apathetic. Everyone's allowed to worry about their future, and I can't even think about what I'm going to do tomorrow without enduring an existential crisis. It's not fair how everyone can be so content while I can't even fathom being happy. No matter what I do, I just can't be happy." He also mentioned his reason for ending his family as well, which essentially boiled down to they'll be.
Oh Gott, er will seine Familie umbringen? Warum? Was können die denn dafür? Also ja, Depressionen hin oder her, also ist bestimmt ganz hart. Aber dann muss man sich doch wenigstens versuchen, professionelle Hilfe zu holen. Und wenn das nicht hinhaut, warum muss ich meine ganze Familie damit reinreißen? I don't know.
Sad after he's gone, so this is a better option. He was clearly facing serious mental struggles, but at this point it was already too late. One of his friends noticed the concerning Instagram post and requested a welfare check. Officers arrived at the scene just a few minutes later. Unfortunately, there was nothing they could do.
Der hat's wirklich durchgezogen.
The house was fully locked, and by the time they managed to break in, all 6 family members had already passed away from gunshot wounds, leaving Farhan's abandoned Reddit account as a snapshot of how he felt leading up to the brutal massacre.